Hey everyone, in this weekly energy reading, we are going to take a look at why in the world the energy feels so dense, so heavy, why you may be feeling exhausted, what's coming up in terms of some astrological transits and a few aspects. And also we're going to tap into some channeled messages through tarot and oracle. So come join me as we examine the week of March 6th through the 12th. For anyone that's new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Christine. I'm an intuitive spiritual coach, consultant, and I wear so many other hats. If you want to learn more about me, take a look at my About page. Website's coming. If you're returning, it's really great to see you. You guys, I'm not lying. If it seems like I'm chipper and I am full of energy, no, maybe it's this ring light. I'll just say for any of you before we start the Astrocap, the energies right now, simply speaking, they've been heavy. We are in the last segment of this astrological new year with Pisces, right? Before we ingress into the season of Aries. When the sun goes into Aries on March 20th, we start the new astrological new year, and you will feel a shift. And some of you have already been feeling that like something is coming, things are about to change, things are almost like a harbinger for positive things too. But in that same vein, sometimes things have to be broken down or break away, released, ended, completed before we start the new. And so the energies as of late have been very weighted, almost like you've been carrying around a weighted blanket. And in some areas it's been hot, it's been cold, the weather, that's a whole nother conversation, wacky. And you may have been feeling exhausted, having a lot of anger come up, a lot of frustrations, a lot of repressed emotions. Perhaps tears have been flowing, emotions, a lot of dreams surrounding water, but also fears being illuminated too. Because when you go into the depth of the water, sometimes it's unknown, sometimes it's murky, sometimes it's dark. So there's a lot happening right now that's clearing away. Contracts, karmic contracts are ending. You may be feeling like you are starting to drift apart from certain people, places, things. You may be feeling an itch like something's going to change or you're wanting to move in a new direction. Hang in there. A lot more clarity is coming, and I feel like in a couple weeks, especially with some planetary transits that are happening, right? Actually, this week, what am I talking about? We will be feeling more of the shift, but I feel intuitively a lot of us have been already tapping into this energy for weeks already. So going into the Astrocap, first thing today, Monday, March 6th, we have the Sun in Pisces sextiling Uranus in Taurus. And so here, this actually is a great transit and energy, I should say, to be in, because it allows us to get more comfortable and open up to opportunities that are yet known, right? It allows us to be comfortable with stepping into the unknown and perhaps embracing things that are different, to make changes that are not the type of changes we've made before, and to be open, essentially. Sometimes with this energy of Pisces, we have a tendency to escape. Some of you think about what you've been doing since we've been in Pisces season. I know I've been watching more Netflix, and I'm not really a Netflix. I don't really watch a lot of TV in general. I've been watching more shows and just zoning out, because there's like the weight of a lot of things happening right now, major transitions going on, at least for me, but I suspect for many of you. Think about where you may have been just trying to zone out or forget about things or ignore something. And I feel like with this sextile, it's allowing us to revamp, okay, something's not working or we're not wanting to face at this time, or maybe we're just wanting to enjoy and feel good in things that feel a little bit surreal. But with this earth energy, it's a little bit of a grounding force, also while being open to things that are different. So I feel like this is also offering opportunities to us to open up our blindfolds, to open up our eyes, our windows, right, to new perspectives, new ideas. So I'm not going to say escapism is always bad unless you are perhaps diving into substances that are not optimal for your health. But whenever you overdo something, sometimes this happens and it leads to an imbalance. But I feel like with this energy, we're starting the week off. It allows us to say, hey, wait a minute. I'm doing things a little bit differently. Maybe I am escaping. Maybe I am trying to delay things that I know I have to tackle. But we're also receiving sources of inspiration. And I feel like, at least I've gotten it from some of the shows I've watched, it's opening me up to new ways of seeing. So pay attention to what you are consuming, what you're watching, what you're hearing, listening to, who you're surrounding yourself with, starting this week and onward. On Tuesday, March 7th, we have the full moon in Virgo occurring at 16 degrees of this mutable earth sign, and it will happen at 7:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York City time for reference. I will do a separate video for this, but I even noted the title for this video I will be doing, Turning the Page for a New Chapter. This is the last lunation for this astrological year before we start Aries season, a brand new cycle. And so a lot of things are wrapping up. A full moon is generally about release and culmination. And if you think back to August, you can see of any themes that you were working through or that were revolving around your life. Think back then, and some of those themes may come up too. But this is all about, Virgo is all about the material physical world and diving in deep, like zooming in microscopically on the details of, is this working for me? Is my day-to-day routine working for me? How about my physical health? And how about my time and energy and where I'm putting it at? Combined with Pisces, because Pisces is on the opposite axis in the 12th house of Virgo. And so this taps into our spiritual life. So a lot of the essence here that I'm getting is, okay, what's not working in your current physical reality? And what is up here fomenting, being created, maybe about to be birthed in the spiritual realm? And how can you bring that down into the practical life of Earth, of our everyday here? So there's a merging here. Again, we have a square, or I should say the moon, not we. The moon has a square to Mars in Gemini. So there's a bit of agitation. I've been sensing this, a bit of an impatience, almost like wanting to rush things, and you want to know the answers right now. So be really careful as you navigate this, especially when it comes to your mind. Virgo and Gemini. Mars is in Gemini right now, are both ruled by Mercury. So there's an ability perhaps, we're more likely to overthink, to be in our heads, to overanalyze, perhaps criticize, especially with the Virgo energy, certain aspects and not be as forgiving. And this moon is about really assessing like, hey, what's working? And if it's not working, let it go. No biggie. That's it. Let's see and let's go towards a direction of what we do want to work and what we do want to bring in from the spiritual realm, from our intuition, from that creativity that we're getting. Let's see how we can merge it. More on that. I'm going to move on because I can keep talking about this lunation. Tuesday, again, just a little bit after we have this lunation in Virgo, Saturn enters Pisces at 8:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So roughly about an hour. And Saturn has been in Aquarius for the last 3 years. So think since right after the start of the pandemic, right? A little bit after. So Saturn is the planet of responsibility, of karma, of restrictions, of work. I always say dedication too, and being responsible. Depending on where it's transiting in your natal chart, this is about really asking yourself, okay, what do I really need to put a little bit more focus on here? And so it has not been in the sign of Aquarius, which again is an air sign. And this is also a fixed sign since 2020. Excuse me. It has not been in the sign of Pisces. You guys, I'm like so out there today. Since 1993, from 93 to 96, it was in the sign of Pisces. So think about back then what themes came up for you. I know for me, that was a time where I moved a lot, and it's happening for me. I'm going through big transitions in my life right now. Saturn is transiting through my 6th house of work, service, time and organization, commitment, day-to-day routine. So everything is changing for me in that respect. So think about for you what happened during that time, and know that whenever we have Saturn entering a new sign and obviously a new house in your chart, there are new lessons there, new opportunities for growth and development. So I know it was weighted for me being in Aquarius in the 5th house. So I feel like this is going to shift a lot for many folks, and it's going to really tap into also the spiritual nature of Pisces and really allow us to attune more and trust ourselves, especially with our intuition. Friday, March 11th, Juno enters Taurus at 11:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, we got a lot of notes here on longevity because right now we're about to start new cycles, right? And this precedes the start of the new astrological year with Aries. And there's a lot of focus on, okay, these are the building blocks. We're about to start something new. What can we build that'll have long-term effects, positive long-term consequences? Juno is a planet, an asteroid, and in Greek mythology, she's known as Hera. For any of you that are interested, I know in Roman mythology they use different names. She's the wife and sister of Zeus, right? And so Juno is the, asteroid planet in charge of commitment, of long-term partnerships, marriage, for example, and the protector, the defender of women. And so when we have this entering in Taurus, we're really thinking about stability, about longevity and security when it comes to our partnerships, marriage, and even how we feel safe. So this is about going slower, not about love bombing, not about trying to rush through different folks, but taking time to get to know people, to really make sure you're on the same page, to build that foundation of trust, of getting to know someone on a deeper emotional and intimate level. And once you secure that foundation, a lot of other things develop naturally and organically, and very positively, I should say. I know sometimes different relationships harness different entry points. You know, some people do and start relationships in different ways, but this is with Taurus energy, right in line with Juno. A strong foundation is a key to a lasting relationship and partnership. Finally, on Saturday, March 12th, we have Jupiter conjuncting Chiron, both in Aries at 2:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is happening 14 degrees of Aries for both Jupiter and Chiron, obviously. And so both of these elements, it really is going to magnify and bring to light in a very expansive, energetic way wounds that we have been dealing with, but also perhaps that we have not really wanted to deal with. And I feel like with Jupiter's expansive energy, it's going to almost like boom. I don't want to say bomb, but it's going to really illuminate the fact like, hey, this is an area of your life that you may want to focus on deeper. And I feel like this is going to bring a lot of healing, growth, soul growth in particular, and development for folks. Because again, with Aries, this is about owning our true authentic self. It's about illuminating and allowing ourselves, our true essences, to light up and no longer dimming ourselves. Because again, with this conjunction happening, we may have experienced woundings, traumas, for example, where we may have felt we had it to be a certain way or to adhere to a certain structure or framework or belief system. And that's not always the case. When we find our own truth and we follow that path, that's when our soul illuminates. Because not everyone is going to have that same truth. And so this particular transit is going to really allow you to not only come up and not only allow the wounds to come up and for you to feel into it, but also to harness that energy and to take back your power. Because the woundings we have, they in turn become the gifts that we offer the world, what we can help others with. And Chiron in Aries is all about being your authentic self and allowing yourself to shine, to keep moving forward, no matter what, not allowing your light to be suppressed or dimmed. So again, this is about taking any constructs that you feel you may have had to adhere to. Maybe you were operating under a faulty system, a facade, if you will. And this is about breaking out of that and saying no more. So this is going to be an especially healing aspect. It's a very beautiful, positive aspect. So holy crap, a lot happening, I feel, that's unfolding along with this Pisces season that we're in. So we are going to move right into the messages the universe wants us to know for this week. I'm going to pick some cards and some oracle. And I have a tarot spread that I wanted to use here about what does the universe want us to know first, what is the universe encouraging us to change, and what is the advice for us this week, because I feel like there's so much happening all at once. So let's take a look. What does the universe want us to know? What does the universe want us to change? And what advice? Okay, thank you. And then I'm going to select some oracle cards. Look what we have at the bottom of the deck. The Fool card, Aries energy. 0. First card of the tarot. So many of us are about to start new soul journeys here. New timelines. Okay. What does the universe want us to know? Change and advice. So I'm just picking oracle for each of these questions and then we will review them. I don't think I've done something like this. Comment down below, what is going on for you? What have you been experiencing in this season? I feel like a lot of folks are rethinking their current plans or current goals, where they are in life, to the long term. Really asking themselves, is this what I want to do for the long term? Because a lot of things are being shown to us right now of where we may be feeling the cracks, where we may not be feeling like we are being led by our heart, our true soul essence, right? Is this really what we want to do? And where it is that we're ready to break free. Okay. And I'm going to pull a final self-care oracle for the advice. Okay, in terms of what the universe wants us to know right now, we have Page of Coins, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. To me, the Page of Coins is asking us to, again, really get curious, because this is almost like peeking under the covers, but doing a little bit more probing and asking us to really check in with ourselves. Our values aligned to the actions we're taking and what it is we're doing in life. Whether it's our career, professional goals, the relationships we're in, where we're spending our time and energy, how we're spending it as well, how we're spending our money, our time, our energy, because those are all our personal resources, right? So it's asking us to take a look. Where may we need more balance in life right now? Where may things, because the greatest piece of knowledge perhaps or information that can be illuminated to you is any imbalance in your life. If something feels a little bit off, if something feels like it's not feeling right, that's an area for you to zoom in on and to look at, especially with this week's energies. So take a look at your own values. Do you really value perhaps spending a lot of time on a project, on a volunteer commitment, or at work? Or do you feel like you want to reallocate that time and that energy towards maybe family or towards yourself or doing something else? You see, there's a lot of mirroring here that I get. Because you see with the mountains, and they look like reindeer of sorts, moose. We'll just say reindeers. And realizing and prioritizing, is this truly feeling aligned to my goals, to my values, more importantly, to the foundation that I want to build? We also have here, let me get it off the computer because you can hear the speakers if anything touches it. Wise leader, you are a beacon for others. So right now, a lot of leadership energy, this is about too, especially with the Page of Coins, taking ownership of your life, taking a leadership role. You know, in many communities, like online, people say being the main character of your life, right? Really putting the energy towards your dreams, towards what you want. Because some of you are paving the way for others, and some of you may not see footprints ahead of you, so you're creating those footprints for others. That's why it's important to get really clear on what you value right now. What is important to you? Who is important? Where do you want to put your time and energy? A lot of mountains. Do you see that? To me, I don't feel like it may necessarily mean obstacles, although it's a part of life, but I feel like these are challenges many of you have overcome. And because of that, you have gotten really clear on who you are, where you're going, and what really matters to you. Finally, we have Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness, recognize that you have power. See all the fire here? Oh my gosh, this is red hair. Do you see both of them have red hair? Orange may be a big signifying sign for someone. Orange is the sacral chakra, the seat of our emotions, our sexual power, and connecting also to our soul, our creative life force energy. And fire is all about creation too, as it is destruction. It's very obviously alchemical. It can transform in many different ways. So many of you are being asked this week to listen to your own internal fire. hearing Jim Morrison's or The Doors, Light My Fire. Pay attention to what's really driving you, what's revving you up, where you're feeling that drive to change. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to have that destination plotted out and that goal in mind, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and you know it. It could simply mean, you know what, I don't want to do what I'm doing now, but I know I want to move in a new direction, something different. It's listening to that internal fire within, and I feel like this is also coming up, where many of you have realized your own power and strength, perhaps in what you've overcome in life, and realizing it full circle that you are able to assist and help others too. This is the wounded healer energy that I'm feeling from Chiron. But again, this is taking you, what is important to you, and making way in your world, in your journey, and leading forward with that. I'm also having trouble talking. Okay, what is the universe encouraging you to change? Got the Star card, Aquarius energy. This is, to me, this is about making sure that you don't bypass any healing, that you really get acquainted to your wounds. It's not always fun. It's not the most pleasant journey in the spiritual community or in spirituality or in life as Earth, because we're all here to learn as earthly beings, but we're souls in these earthly bodies. So we're here to learn. And sometimes it feels better to escape, to go out, to do something else, but heal and feel the pain, feel the grief, acknowledge things that are ending or that will be, or realizing, wait, something different is happening. But that in turn is going to help you overcome any obstacles, right? Whenever you overcome and go through challenges, it's not meant to hurt you. It's not meant to put you into further pain. It's meant to facilitate your soul journey, because you know, hey, I got through this and I made it, and I will help others, but more importantly, I will keep going and help myself. To me, this also speaks, again, this is always about following your internal compass. You see the fire here? It's within, and then you see the star. You can, this is akin, I guess, to the North Star, following your path that you're feeling called to go. Sometimes you may not understand it at first. I feel like right now, everyone is being asked to really tap into whether you're truly happy. A lot of these nations, they're checkpoints in your soul journey of, hey, what's working and what's not. At the very most broadest level, that's what they help us do. And they have different themes and different things that we can focus on, right? Depending on house and the sign and the energies that we can use to either help us with what it is that we want to do, that it could amplify our goals, our dreams, and help us in some way. I also get tears here with the Star card. Some of you may have emotionally repressed energy that is waiting to come up, like a watershed, that will bring about a lot of relief once you allow yourself to feel and to cry. There's something about her hair. There's something about longevity this week. Again, I'm getting the energy about wanting to make changes for your long-term good, but this is more about your ability to be content, to experience joy, to engage in joy, and whatever happiness means to you. There's going to be major shifts coming, and I feel like with this lunation, but also as all of these transits unfold and the energies unfold, you're going to receive a lot of internal guidance and just knowings coming to you, where you're like, wow, this no longer resonates with me. I'm ready to let it go. Some of you are wishing upon a star, because I'm hearing twinkle, twinkle, little star. Some of you may be wishing for a change in your circumstances, and it's coming. But it's about also acknowledging, where do I need to take that particular decision-making and action, that conscientious choice within my life, right? Or our lives, I should say, to lead yourself out of that. Because everyone is their own driver of their vehicle, of their soul journey. So changes are coming. Again, when it comes to healing, work on, if any of you are not perhaps diving deep into your healing, because toxic positivity is a real thing in the spiritual community, as is just keep thinking positive, keep affirming things are going to change. I understand that, and I believe it, but I feel as earthlings, souls in earthling bodies, we have to feel the pain. That's what we're here for. Because up there or in other realms, we know who we are on that at that soul essence. Here we're like, no, we got to feel the pain, what's happened, and process that grief. So do not skip over that. I feel this week it's going to come out like a burst, like a dam for some, where you're going to feel like the weight and it's just going to erupt into tears. We're finally going to acknowledge it. What else is the universe encouraging us to change this week? Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Again, so many of us are fixated on the end result, the goal, the destination, that we often forget it's the journey itself that gives us the lessons, allows us to learn. We meet people. That's where we experience the growth, where we experience the joy, right? So for any of you that right now, where you may not be feeling like this is not the journey I want to experience, it's not the place of joy, I just want to skip over this. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to acknowledge it. It's okay to be upset and angry. Get it out. I always say to my clients that I work with, set yourself an expiration date or put an expiration date and allow yourself to just bitch, complain, grieve to your journal, maybe to a trusted friend, and then cut it and ask yourself, okay, I got it out. You may be feeling life's unfair, but ask yourself, there's something bigger here that's going on. What am I being taught here? What do I need to learn right now? Perhaps it's patience. Perhaps it's, okay, maybe you lost your job, or maybe you're looking for a job. And it's really having faith that everything is going to continue working out. But there's different elements at store that's happening, or that is happening. So again, pay attention to where you are in your life journey right now, because you're being guided and signs are coming through to you. You'll feel it in your body more than anything, where things need to change. Finally, we have charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask and you shall receive. Some of you are being called to connect to your spiritual team, to yourself. Again, this lunation, it's just as much about connecting to our spiritual side as it is to the material world, to the earthly realm. We get a lot of our ideas. Some people think they're just thoughts that come in. For me, a lot of the creativity comes from the spirit world. And whenever you ask, you'll be surprised what you get. Some of you may want to incorporate or increase practices around gratitude, prayer, contemplation, stillness, mindfulness, meditation, perhaps, taking time out for yourself, especially because of the way of where we are at in our soul evolution and also in the astrological year. Take a look at what it is you need more of. And also on the contrary, you can look at what you need less of. And either way, you can get an answer there. To me, this is all about touching base. I said that kind of weirdly. Tuning in, I should say, more than touching base, but checking in with yourself, tuning into your self-love, where you're at in your journey and taking care of yourself. Because again, all of these aspects, it says ask and you shall receive. Some people are afraid that they are burdening their spiritual team. They're like, no, I'm asking too much. No, I'm asking too many requests. Your guides, ancestors, ascended masters, whomever you work with, spirit animals, there is no limit to what you ask for. They're always there to guide you. It doesn't mean they're a magical genie lamp. But be sure to reach out, because this is also helping those that have problems with receiving and reaching out and asking for help to also contemplate why. Some changes may need to be made around how you care for yourself and what that means and what your spiritual practices mean, because right now, especially with Saturn going into Pisces very, very soon, I feel like many folks are going to be experiencing more unexplained phenomenon, perhaps unexplained gifts or an attunement in their own gifts, and perhaps in the receptivity that they are receiving, that they're, I should say, connected to and receiving messages, guidance, etc. I think it's happening for a reason. So people know, hey, wait, don't forget about this realm too. You have a lot of support, even if you don't realize it. Finally, what is the universe's advice for you this week? We got 10 of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. I don't always get it, but with this card right now, it's just let it go. Things are ending, and some of you may be grasping on. It's almost like that grasping onto straws or straw, not just the straws you drink from, right? But the straw I'm getting, like what animals eat, like in barns. I saw a cow. Because some of you may be having trouble releasing control, realizing that things have to end so something new can begin. Just look at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool card. A lot of new beginnings in many areas of life right now. And we have that with the Two of Coins. So again, I feel like many folks are really tapping into their value system right now, because that's a huge guiding compass, a huge internal compass, almost like an arrow, and it guides us when we really listen. So the universe's advice is to let that shit go. Don't revive anything that doesn't need to be revived, no matter how painful it is, because sometimes when we experience pain, whether it's from a loss, from a separation, a breakup, or an ending where we don't want something to end, the more we try to resist it, the more painful it is. It's almost like self-infliction, right? We're inflicting pain because of a lack of perhaps radical acceptance, perhaps radical honesty of the situation. Tends to, in numerology, signify some type of metaphorical death, an ending, a completion of a cycle. So again, with this weight, this is about allowing to be, allowing whatever comes up to come up and to feel. It's not about grasping for things anymore, trying to change anything. There's an element here of surrender too. Other advice, we have first light, beginning a new cycle. I can't kid you not. Look at this. So many elements. Many of you are moving towards new cycles in your life, wherever you are in the world. We have all the seasons represented here. We have flowers and we've got a birdie. Look at this. And in just about a couple weeks from now, we will be entering the spring season, spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. And obviously the fall if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. But once we let go, there's new things coming. That's just how it works. That's just, I want to say, the cycle of life. And so it goes hand in hand. The more you resist something, the more you're preventing what is meant for you on the next stage of your journey from coming in. We have is it Shekinah? Sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. This to me speaks of the Jupiter conjunction with Chiron and Aries. Well, Jupiter's in Aries too. I don't know if you can read it. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. This is about allowing yourself to shine. Do you see all the light? I've gotten this repeatedly in several readings. We've got a lot of light here. We've got fire in the earlier deck. Following your path, listen to the nudges. If I could make a corny metaphor, it's follow the light. Literally follow your own internal light. That's your compass, your intuitive knowings. Everyone has it. Everyone feels it. Everyone knows when something is time to end or when it's time to start something new. So again, listen to that internal guidance. Really tap into your team too. Many of you are being encouraged to change the way that you connect with, we can say, the universe, with heaven, with your guides, because they are helping also to illuminate your strength, giving you courage and faith. They're always giving you signs. Some of you may need to ask and just be explicit, especially if you're like, what does this mean? You can just ask. You'll always get an answer. I pulled a final self-care oracle for the universe's advice, and we got journal, which reduces to an 11. Some of you are seeing 11s. I've been seeing 11s everywhere. Again, they're harbingers for change, new beginnings, the start of something new. Also, I feel like this is a time when many of you are going to be meeting a lot of new people in your life. A lot of renewal, reinvigoration. Also getting clear on what it is that you want. With Aries season, this is about hitting the go button that's coming up, right? And being like, okay, I'm going to just go for it and do what it is that I want to really do in this life, in this season of my life. Some of you may get greater clarity by journaling. If you're on the spiritual path, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you are, journal your progress. Journal the signs that you're getting, dreams that you're having, especially during the season, messages. If you're feeling a little bit off, you can write letters literally to the universe, expressing yourself and asking for help. You'll be very surprised at the signs that you've received. Journaling is also an outlet too, because words are energy, and what we release through ourselves, that's energy as well. And it could be very cathartic for you at this time. Some of you may want to document. I am hearing document endings. Some of you that have diaries, journals, or keep personal, almost like memoirs, or you may be building up to a memoir, piecing together different aspects of your life. It may be time to simply unearth all of that onto paper so that you can move on and complete that cycle. Sometimes when we feel like we've moved on from something and then we realize we haven't, we simply have to get it all out of us. It's simply energy. So however you process it, again, journaling is very powerful when you sit and just get everything out that you may have wanted to say, express to someone or something. And when you get it out on paper, you can burn it as well. Got a lot of fire here, so some of you may work with the fire element. And it's extremely transformational. That paper becomes ashes, you can blow it out, and that energy is recycled into something positive. You all, I hope this reading has helped. Comment down below. Let me know how your week is going. I know it has been quite heavy. There are a lot of things shifting and happening really fast. Things are moving. You may feel like they're moving so fast that you're just feeling exhausted. You are not alone. This is happening to me too. It's simply about taking things, for me, some people don't agree with it, but I'm a one-tasker. I have to do things one at a time. Otherwise, I just get overwhelmed. So I encourage you this week to just look at something in your life that you are ready to release, particularly with this lunation energy that we have with the full moon in Virgo, and what you're really ready to clean up. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy this, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week. Take care.